Hi, I'm Cathy Reynolds and I'm the Director of City Regeneration and Development within Belfast City Council. I sit in a wider department, Place and Economy Department, which is about planning, regeneration development, economic development across the city, and it's about really driving forward the growth, the development and the regeneration of our city in an inclusive and sustainable way. So that's what I see my role as, and the role of the council, to try to bring the stakeholders together. And delighted to be here today to talk to a number of partners, a number of stakeholders that are going to help us to do that. Belfast has evolved significantly over the past number of years. We've come an awful long way, and sometimes we forget that, particularly over the past few years, right across all of the asset classes, offices, hotel sector, purpose-built managed student accommodation, and hospitality sector as a whole. There's been significant developments just in the past week. The past number of weeks, there's been new build-to-rent. I think something like 700 build-to-rent units have been approved. There's the first build-to-rent, significant build-to-rent, is under construction across at Tana Quarter. 4 new hotels just last week have been granted approval. And even in our core of the city centre, where retail traditionally has struggled a bit, there's been really significant new first to market brands, first entrants coming into the city centre. So there's certainly a trajectory there, with the University of Ulster that has moved its students into the core of the city centre, which has been a real game changer, with a new a central station, a new transport hub that's going to be a real sort of change for the good for the city. Where we want to get to is much more city centre living, and that's one of our big objectives in terms of getting more people to live in our city centre, and that's where there's definitely opportunity, massive opportunity. The demand is there, and it's just about trying now to see how we can really kickstart that. Certainly, definitely do see it as a change, and particularly in terms of young people who are studying here, want to stay, they don't want to go away. We've got a significant foreign direct investment and a real sort of demand for coming to Belfast. There's the ease of working in Belfast, operating in Belfast, and there is definitely a demand. I see 2024 going into 2025, that'll just continue as well, and it's probably underpinned as well by there's some kind of big infrastructure projects and proposals that are underway. I mentioned that the trains, the rail station, the transport hub. We have a new significant tourist destination coming forward in the city centre, Belfast Stories, which is one of our Belfast Regional City Deal projects, which is part of a £1 billion investment in the city. So there's definitely a lot more confidence this year now coming in as well. From a cultural and tourism perspective, we have what's called Belfast 2024, which is a whole programme of scaled up activity in terms of cultural, creative arts activity right throughout this year, and it's about really building on that culture and art, which is really strong in the city, and having that legacy as we come through 2024 and beyond as well for the city. So. I think in many ways it's even in terms of its size, its compact size, its ease of getting around, there is that bit of individuality, I do think, in Belfast. It's also the opportunity that exists. So what we do see is some really good, just looking across the way at a building, a student roost, purpose-built student managed accommodation, which was a heritage building that's been brought back into use. The print works just across the way. So there's that bit about how we can draw on the past, but also all of those opportunities that exist as well. There's lots of development opportunities, sites and activity that I think is going to be great to see how that will all evolve over the next few years. I think it's excellent. Yeah, it's kind of a good mix of kind of practicality and experience so far anyway. And despite the fact that the weather has not been great, but it's been refreshing, been great, and actually in terms of where we're sitting at the moment in this venue is excellent as well. And I think it's testament to how something can come forward in a very sustainable way as well, and have something really individual for Belfast.